It sure is early. 4:47 and my eyes are like, oh no, what if that's the opening thumbnail? Oh, anyway. Oh shoot, there's no fixing it now. You gotta pay for something if you want to like arrange what your opening picture on your video looks like. Ha, not me. Questions. Rapture Prepping asks me, hi, have I thought about getting in and out of a van with mobility issues? Probably 10 million times a day. First, let me get one thing perfectly clear before we continue. Am I afraid? Scared shitless would be the best way to put it. Dennis always said there's only one way to get through fear, and that's to walk through it. And that's what I have to do, and don't think I'm not terrified inside. It doesn't show on the outside, because I haven't started like running down the street going, ah! But I want to. Oh, mercy me. I am going to be 64 years old. I have got horrendous spine issues. Horrendous. Am I scared? Sure. Am I going to do it anyway? What the hey? I'm nuts. I admit it. What was the rest of the question? All right, mobility. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I have messaged many an older woman with mobility problems living in vans and asked them how they did it, and I have some great ideas from them. One woman rigged up this great little step stool, and somehow she duct taped and did something to it. You know, you could use like a vise to do this with. She has a little stool, and then somehow she managed to put a handle on it like a cane, and that way after she got into the van, she'd hoist up with the cane, or whatever her, maneuvering stick was, back into the van. I like that. The other thing is putting on a running board, so that it isn't just like that. You have your running board, you step on that, and you step up. That in addition to one of those little stools with a little, whatever, cane or some sort of attachment. I wonder if they have something like that. Like a little steps. You know how they have those canes with a little seat so that you can like cripple along and then put your little seat down and rest? I might be needing one of those some of these days. Coffee. I'll be right back. I love coffee. Got my coffee. It's hotter than Hades, so I'll wait on that for a minute. Mobility, in and out. Don't think I've taken this lightly. I have been messaging people since 2014, including Bob Wells. I've written him about 3 emails. I don't think you can email him anymore. But back then you could, and he'd answer you right away. Asked him a lot of questions, about the way he did things. And the most recent one was a couple years ago when I asked him what kind of... I said, I watched your video on picking out a vehicle, but then I told him what my situation was, and he and I went back and forth for several emails, and I laughed at the end. I said, well, that just brings me right back to square one. And I don't think he liked that. But I get it. I mean, he has a lot of people asking him questions like that. And, his recommendation was a full-size van. And at that time, I was like, yeah, but I'm really poor. I can't afford the gas. And now, I mean, the gas is way worse. I mean, that was back when it was like, what, 169? What is it now? 450 down here? 450 a gallon? Have I thought about it? Yeah. Do I think I'm insane? Sure. It's kind of like what Dennis said about getting over fear. You walk through it. Getting over insanity, you just kind of like flow with it. Hey, crazy people gotta live too. The whole point of my going through this living hell, and I know it's not going to be easy, it's probably going to be days when I'm probably going to be crying in my soup. I have no doubt about it. Will it be the first time I've ever been through hardship? Mm-mm. It'll be the first time at age 64 with a severely bad back that I will have, have to go through hardship, serious hardship. I don't think it's going to be easy. No, I think it's going to be really hard at times and annoying and stressful and frickin' hot and possibly cold and the rest of the questions. Toilet. Haven't you seen my toilet video yet? It's way old. I wish I knew how to get that video and reshare it so that it comes up to the top. So what is it? I spent $28 for this bucket, okay? It is a specialty bucket, only 3 gallon. Why did I get a 3 gallon bucket? Because I was trying to use it in a Toyota hatchback, okay? I had the guy pull my front seat out. I put the other seats down, right? And, oh, that was hell. Though that potty came in so handy, and I used one of these, and I have a spare. So there's one with my toilet on the porch. So it's a 3 gallon bucket, a white bucket. I took I think it's green, a noodle from the Dollar Tree, $1.25 now. Dollar my butt. And what do? I take a razor blade and I slit. Just like those pipe insulators that you would use downstairs in a home in a cold weather area. You slit all the way down. And then you take that, you put the slit on that rim, right? And you press down. Lordy, it fits like perfect. Comfortable. Ooh, cushy on your tushy. So, yeah, that's my toilet. And the lid, I just set it on top. And what I do is I take heavier duty, better quality 13, is it 13 gallon kitchen garbage bags? And hey, I got a plan. There ain't gonna be no cleaning in my life, or very little. I take the bag, so like the noodle is already on your bucket. You take the bag and you slip it over all. It's over the noodle. It's over the outside of the bucket. And then I put in pine shavings. That's not good for urine, okay? It just isn't what I want. And I did find up at the Tractor Supply in Dover Foxcroft, Maine, and I hope I can find it down here, the pine pellets. Now, I've watched a lot of videos, and they all say, use the pine pellets. They work great. Now, you got to understand, I'm no longer the Wilderness Family, and I'm probably not going to do the BLM land routine. No. I like modern conveniences at the age of 64. And so I'm going to be hanging out in small towns, big towns, wherever I can slide through without being noticed. And that's going to take some doing. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's going to take some doing. Okay, just checking my time here. So, yeah, I got my toilet. And what did I do with it? Wrapped it up. That toilet saved my butt many a times while I was on that trip last September. As a matter of fact, because of COVID, I was like in the middle of nowhere, New Hampshire, trying to find another place, and I got lost and ended up going on a lovely hiatus through back roads. It was fun. And I come across this little convenience store. Thank you, God. There was gas, and I filled up. And I go to the door thinking I'm going to go to the bathroom. And the big sign on the door said, due to COVID-19, our public restrooms are closed. And I really had to go. So, what did I do? Took my car, pulled it into the woods, sat on my bucket, and took a leak. I still got that potty to this day. I like it. You just wrap it up and throw it away. They do it with baby diapers all the time. If I'm like in an area and I can use a Target, a Walmart, a whatever, yeah, I can do that. So that's the toilet situation. Bathing and cooking. Well, let's start with bathing. There are times when I'm so damn tired, I just sponge bathe right here, even though there's a shower. Sponge baths are one thing, baby wipes are another thing, and I have a ton of luxury bath wipes. I bought them for Dennis as I knew he was going to become bedridden pretty soon. And I bought a big case of them, and I still have them, and I'm like, they're coming with me. They're lovely. They're nice, big, strong wipes, right? You know what else I bought him? Leave-in shampoo. I've got 2 nice bottles full of leave-in shampoo. As a matter of fact, that stuff is so soapy that I was able to water it down and still use it. And so you just put it in your hair, which I don't have a lot of. I could just take a washcloth and I look like Curly from the Three Stooges. Anyway, that leave-in shit, you put it in and it foams all up, and then you just take a towel and you wipe it off, and voila. If you want, you could take a wet washcloth and do that and then wipe it off, and that takes a lot of the residue off, and oh my goodness, it leaves your hair so soft and smooth. I tried it because he was like, no, because that was Dennis, no to everything. Dennis, I hope you're showering up there. Cooking. I have a Coleman 2-burner stove. And I have propane bottles waiting for the big trip. Cooking. So how am I going to do it? Well, you know how I do my cowboy coffee if you've been watching. And that's so easy because once you empty that, you could take a paper towel and wipe that residue of coffee grounds right out of there. Now, I've thought of other ways too. I found very interesting what Minivan Lee recently did. Her boyfriend Paul gave her this little cone-shaped sieve with teeny tiny little holes in it, like barely, and what she did was put the coffee in the sieve and pour the water over it. I don't like that, but I would like to have one of those sieves, and after I boil my cowboy coffee, pour it right in that little sieve and let it go through into the I have a sieve, but that one just looked like fun. It was never mind. I'll just keep the sieve I've got, I guess. So yeah, so my coffee, I get that down. The other thing is once I wipe out my coffee pot, I can put water in there, boil that up, and boil a bunch of hard-boiled eggs. Breakfast for a week, right? And possibly a couple snacks, because eggs come in 12 a container unless I buy the 18. I'm going to need a bigger pot. Okay. And what else? Well, when I was on the road, I had cottage cheese and salad fixings, and I lived off of that, and I lost 5 pounds while I was traveling, which is very unusual. And I'm probably going to go back to that. cottage cheese and salad for lunch. The other thing I had done was I'd made a bunch of egg sandwiches with onions and peppers, and my mother used to call it the picnic sandwich. I have a video about that. I think I even have a video where I made them. Oh, they're wet though. They're wet. I put way too many onions and peppers in it because I just love onions and peppers. I think next time what I will do is fry the eggs dry with nothing in them, just the eggs scrambled up over a, big pan so you can kind of like fold them. And then I'll do my peppers and onions fried separately and just throw them on top. Doesn't that sound delish? And speaking of onions and peppers fried, I followed Fit for Life for about a year. It was a raw food. You kind of like transition from cooked into raw eating. I don't like raw eating, so let's not go there. But he had the sandwich where he fried onions and put this barbecue sauce on it, and then rolled that with the raw vegetables up, and some cooked vegetables too, but I didn't do that, into a tortilla. I could make a bunch of those, have those on hand. What if you feel like a hot meal? Well, I guess I'd have to cook one. And my goodness, this is the United States of America, vacation land, and you can go to any rest area and find a grill, a picnic table, a little overhang that you could go underneath if it's a rainy day. Yeah. And yeah, so I mean, I have been watching van life videos since 2014, and I lived the van life with my crazy husband, 3 kids, a ferret, a lovebird, and a hamster. They kind of changed over the years because hamsters don't live very long, about a year and a half, though Oreo lived 4 years, but that's another story. What a nice little hamster Oreo was. We were all very sad. It's a tragic story. Another time. Remind me in a couple months. I'm too stressed out right now to talk about stressful things. Okay, so cooking. That's basically it. There'll be times when I can go to the Walmart and pick up a cooked chicken if I really want hot food and nibble on that, and then the rest of it make chicken salad and put that in the cooler. I have 3 coolers. I'm probably not going to bring all 3 with me. I'm probably going to have 1 medium for like immediate food and 1 very large for like when I'm going shopping. I found that a 10-pound block is beautiful. I have my Debbie Myers green boxes, which I will utilize, and that will keep the water out. But I also have this other thing. It's like a stand for putting in your cabinet and putting dishes on it. It's metal with a rubberized coating. I'm going to put that on top of the 10-pound block, and that way I can stack my Debbie Myers. You still have cold. Anything like chicken, I'm probably going to set in the medium size cooler and put the ice on the bottom and the top because it's chicken and I'm scared of food poisoning. I also will have my activated charcoal, always available in capsules. And if I feel like my stomach doesn't feel so good, I wonder if that chicken was bad because I can't smell. I'm sure strangers would smell my chicken for me if I really needed it. I'd say, hey, excuse me, because I'm crazy. I know this sounds crazy. That's always a good opener. But I can't smell. Would you mind smelling this chicken for me? With a smile. Who's going to deny a crazy old lady with no hair to smell their chicken? No, I don't want to smell your chicken. Okay, excuse me. Believe me, I am like that. Okay, so bathing, sponge baths, and I will probably look into getting a Planet Fitness membership because, quite frankly, I really need to tone up. I gotta get some, what do they call that? Core muscles. Yeah, mine are dead. All right, so bathing and cooking. Power for electric, for refrigerator, for heating, for cooling. cooling is going to be a bitch. Let's face it. It is not going to be pretty. I'm probably going to have to rely on looking at that national weather map and seeing the temperatures and then going to whatever area is the coolest at the time. I have 2 O-Polar USB fans. I have 5 power banks. 2 of them are solar. 3 of them you'd plug in to the car. I have a 1500 watt Jackery. Is it watts? Is it amps? 1500 anyway, a Jackery. It is friggin' heavy. Someone's going to have to put that bad boy in the car for me, and I'm not going to ever be able to take it back out. Along with that, I have a 200 watt solar briefcase. This was recommended to me by someone named Oopsie. I talked with her when I used to be a subscriber of Glorious Life on Wheels. While I still watch some of her videos, I'm not a subscriber. She kind of pissed me off about something, and I really hold grudges. Terrible. I gotta learn not to do that. Right. So, did I cover everything here? Heat. Bob Wells told was on a video about heat, and he uses his propane stove. You'll kill yourself. Well, he hasn't killed himself yet. He keeps some windows cracked, and what I'm going to do is purchase a RV carbon monoxide monitor. Why an RV one? They're very expensive, $150, probably, if you can even find them, probably $200 now, you know, because that was like a year or 2 ago when I looked into it. And so yeah, if it's really, really cold, I might use a propane stove. But honestly, I think the smartest thing is I have a ton of wool blankets from the old business. We would sell them. I have Hudson Bay, pretty little things. And one that my daughter Bonnie found, and if she doesn't want it, I'm keeping it. Oh, it's lovely. It's like Scottish plaid, and it's just like Scotland wool, and oh, beautiful. This guy let her wrap up with it at some hippie weed concert, and she ended up waking up with it and kept it. So I have like, I don't know, 6, 7 wool blankets. I'll probably put like one underneath me because I was friends with a shaman in the northern part of North Idaho, and I bought land near him. As a matter of fact, he kind of guided me. Really awesome man. Blackfoot tribe. Bill. I'm sure he's not still alive today, but if he is, hi, Bill! And he said he could survive with an axe and a wool blanket in any temperature. And I listened carefully, and I understand a lot about survival living. Of course, I don't have the back for it anymore, I admit it. But hey, maybe Planet Fitness will give me renewal of body, mind, and soul, and I'll take my wool blanket and my axe and go die out in the wilderness. He used to do these treks, and he would take disturbed and troubled children out and give them that ability to survive and that will for living, and it gave them, you know, what's the word? Come on, Nikki, brain not working. Confidence, realizing their abilities, you know. Maybe that's what this is going to do for me, I don't know. Okay, power for electric, refrigerator, heating, and cooling. So cooling, I have the O-Polar fans, and it's going to be white knuckling at times. It's probably going to be sleepless nights at times, and that's really going to suck, honestly. It's going to suck. What can I say? There's those swamp coolers, and that's a possibility. Seems a little ridiculous, but what the hey. And, you also can use a generator and power one of those portable air conditioners. Do I want to go through all that? Probably not. There's the fantastic fan that you could put at the top or even the side of your van and pull the bad air out while the old polars are, blowing on me. I'll probably have one on my head and one on my feet. Because I like to sleep in the cold. I admit it. Right now, the house is at 67, and that's how I like it for sleeping. And it's going to be really hard on me. I have no, I'm sorry, my brain's not working this morning. Maybe it's just too early. What time is it? 5:14. I must be out of my mind. Well, the reason I decided stay on subject. What was I saying? I don't know. It's going to be a bitch. Yep. And cold, well, for God's sake, there's hats and mittens and even them little ski masks. I'm going to travel with the weather, okay? Now, this first fall, because I have to be out of here by September 1st, but I'm probably really going to leave in the last week of August because I'm thinking of going and doing Brimfield if I can get my crap together and get all this paper marked. Plus, if it's raining, I'm not doing a show because I can't put up a tent, and I'm not paying $300 for them to put up a tent. You can rent one. I can always go around with my goods in one of those foldable wagons. My daughter uses one of those, Rachel. And I could try to sell my goods to other dealers too. I don't have to set up for a show. So, because shows are expensive, they're $300. You get 5 to 6 days to sell. You really need a tent for Brimfield. The winds can pick up, it can rain, I don't know. I do have a canopy tent. Brimfield's great because students are looking for work and they'll come around and they'll be like, hey, do you need any help? And I'll be like, over here. Yeah. They will put out your tables. They'll take out your boxes. They'll even unload the boxes if you ask them to. And then you pay them. But it all costs money, right? And that comes out of your profits. But I just want to sell my stuff off because I don't want to deal with it, I might deal with maybe something, or actually Rachel has offered me a job. Rachel's my oldest. She's the furry convention and Comic-Con and all those con type things, anime conventions. And she said, I need help making ears and tails. The demand is high. I know. And she's only got 2 hands, and sometimes those hands aren't working very well. She has psoriatic arthritis amongst so many other issues, and her hands can get raw. But my back is worthless. So what I'm thinking is September, October, November, and December, I'll be working out at Planet Fitness. I'll be building those muscles and coring my core, hopefully. And then I probably could sew ears and tails. We'll see. I do have a job offer. So did I cover all that rapture prepping? Groovy. Getting in and out of the van, I'll figure it out. I do have a very lovely little step stool that's used for climbing up to your cabinets. They unfold and they've got 3 stairs and a little handle. I might be able to maneuver something with that and then just lift it up into the... But there are days I'm not going to be able to lift anything if my back keeps acting up. I got to be careful. I need to remember my limitations. And it's tough. I'm not going to sugarcoat any of this. I'm afraid. As a matter of fact, I woke up to go to the bathroom at 4:15, and I didn't want to go back to sleep. I just wanted to get up and think about what I'm doing. And sometimes when I get up and I go to the bathroom and I start coming back to my warm, cozy bed, or cool, depending on how the air conditioner is blowing, it hits me like a ton of bricks. I'm not going to lie to you. It hits me. Are you nuts? Is the first thing that comes across my mind. You just gave up your home, your bed, your shower, your toilet. It flushes. It's cool. It's warm. Yeah. Here's the thing. Okay? Here's the bottom line. If enduring severe hardship, and it's going to be severe hardship, I'm not sugarcoating any of this, all right? There are going to be times when I'm sick, when I'm injured, when I'm alone, and I've got to figure it out for myself, and it's going to be tough. Hello, Instacart? Yeah, I'm parked over by... How do you get a delivery when you have no address? I mean, let's say I'm laid out in my van, God forbid, but it could happen, yeah. And the sad thing is the only one I have up north is my Bonnie. She's in New Jersey, and I know she'd help me if I needed it. Oh my gosh, I was listening to this van person, and I was stunned that one of this woman's daughters, here she was broken down out west, and her daughter was just down the street and wouldn't provide her a place to stay. They're very busy. Their lives are busy. It's like, you're her mother. What kind of poop is that? I'd disown my kids if they treated me that way if I was in need of help. But my kids aren't like that. Thank you, God. Not even my daughter-in-law is like that. Now, my husband's family is a whole nother story. I wouldn't go to them if I was like bleeding out of my eyes, nose, and mouth. And I'm damn proud of it. So anyway, yeah, that's my plan for living. I know it's going to be a terrible hardship. I know I'm probably going to be in trouble sometimes. I'm going to try very hard not to be in trouble. What else can I say? This is my plan